Alright, it's time for some Shaman vs. Handlock action here. Now, I'm not sure if I played this very well or if I played it correctly, but the way the game ends is by far the best way that you can end a game with this deck. So it's in here, it's in this series. If I make mistakes, I'll try and, maybe we can catch them while I'm commentating on it here, and we can both learn from them. But obviously, at the time that I'm playing against him, I don't know if he's Handlock or Zoo. And my hand is not really great versus either. I think I'd rather him be Zoo. But I just threw an Earthshock, which could be nice. So against Handlock, especially since I already have the Flame Tongue Totem, my goal is just to try and spam as many totems and this Harvest Golem on the board as I can. And then try and take out a giant with my Flame Tongue Totem and my other totems. And I also pick up a Hex, so we kind of drew into some better stuff here for the matchup. I'm also, when I was playing this, I'm going to try something. I think I do with this matchup. I don't remember for sure, but I was going to try basically just not attacking the Handlock, because the games against Shaman always go really long. Well, if you don't run Doomhammer, that is. So I feel like if you just don't attack them early on, that gives you an extra, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 turns of them not being able to play a Molten Giant. Because eventually they're going to life tap themselves into Molten Giant range. Okay, here I could do something like Flame Tongue and then coin out the Power Mace. And then I have to throw... The thing I don't like about that is I have to throw away everything and my coin. So I'm just going to Hex this one. And hopefully I can make another totem or something before he plays another giant. I also have the ability to coin out a fire elemental next turn. Most likely it'll just be a Sludge Belcher though. So, this is interesting. I could do a few things here. I could Earthshock that and hit it with my Power Mace. But then the problem with that is I don't have Earthshock later for a Taunt or a Twilight Drake. I could do some fire elemental and cash in the first half of my Harvest Golem, but I don't think that's necessary. I'm just going to play my Sludge Belcher and let him figure it out, right? So he's got a full grip over there. Plays an Ancient Watcher. That's not too scary, but it's probably going to get Shadow Flamed at some point and just clear my entire board. Okay, second Fire Elemental. I think this is a good Fire Elemental turn. I really want to get out my Power Mace, but I don't really get to do anything else if I play the Power Mace. And adding a 6/5 to the board, it probably just going to get Siphon Souled, or maybe Shadow Flame Mortal Coiled. But yeah, I think it's nice to have a good threat on the board. And yeah, I'm just not even going to attack them. There's just no need to. It's, I think just preventing them from playing Molten Giants for as long as possible is the right way to do it. At least with this version of the deck. If you run Doomhammer, Lava Burst, Crackles, things like that, it's completely different. Because basically, my theory is the game's going to go long enough where they're going to tap themselves down to where I want them to be anyways. So why bring them there earlier? Okay, Hellfire. And that's the second Dark Bomb. And it's important to keep track of how many AoEs they use. Most decks that I've seen, it switches sometimes, but it's usually 2 Hellfire, or it's 1 Hellfire, 2 Shadow Flame, or 1 Shadow Flame, 2 Hellfire. It kind of varies, but usually it's only 3. So I do kill that Ancient Watcher, because even though it's not activated now, I don't want to do the damage to his face like I just kind of touched upon. And he could end up Shadow Flaming that, he could Argus it up, might as well just kill it. Okay, Dr. Boom. Now, I think this is probably one of my weakest parts of the game right now. When my opponent plays Dr. Boom, I never really know what the exact best way to deal with it is, assuming I don't have a BGH or something. Like, I don't know if I should kill off the boom bots first before I play other stuff, play more stuff to try and get the boom bots to do something else. It's just it's so random. I have no idea. So I'm sure if you had infinite time to just think about it, you could probably come up with the best odds and the best way to do it. But I'm just kind of winging it right now, doing what I can do. I don't really like this Flame Tongue Totem too much because I'm never going to get anything on the left side of it really, but I didn't really have a choice if I wanted to with the Dr. Boom. Use my Power Mace, pick up some health here. Now, he still has a Boom Bot. I think it's a pretty good clear, though. The problem is I'm starting to run out of gas, so this Neptulon is going to have to really carry us this game, if you will, because he's drawing cards every turn. That was a fantastic Boom Bot for him, and yeah, the game is starting to slip away, but on the bright side, he's quite a ways away from Molten Giants because of my Zombie Chow, and I get to Earthshock this Twilight Drake. Mountain Giant's already down. Might as well. I also get to play Neptulon in the same turn that the same turn that I Earthshock this Drake. So, pretty good tempo swing for me. Have a little bit of frame drops here for some reason. I don't think it lasts for too long. And I got a pretty nice string of Murlocs here. I might be able to overdraw him with this Cold Light Oracle. The Bluegill can be used to trade with something like that BGH, or even kind of burst him down in the same turn with maybe Flame Tongue and Old Murk-Eye. Old Murk-Eye is obviously awesome as well. The worst is when you get like 3 Cold Light Oracles or something, because Neptulon already gives you card advantage, right? So why do you want to give your opponents more cards when you just, caught up to cards with them? And I'm kind of thinking, like, I sort of want to save this Bluegill in my Flame Tongue. Like, in my head, I'm thinking I want to go Bluegill Warrior, Old Murk-Eye, Murloc Raider, or whatever it's called there, and Flame Tongue in the same turn. Or, like, Bluegill Warrior, Old Murk-Eye, Flame Tongue, Totem, and then reincarnate my Murk-Eye and just one-shot him. But at the same time, I want to kill off this BGH, so I think I want to save the Flame Tongue. So I might just have to throw away this Bluegill, because I don't want to commit the Flame Tongue to the board yet. I want to kind of surprise him with it. I could also just face tank 3. That might not have been the worst. And I'm thinking I'm going to overdraw him. I'm kind of running out of time, so I'm panicked a little bit. I just played the Cold Light. I used a coin first so that I don't know. I was kind of rushed here. I kind of rushed these last ones. I was counting cards in my hand and whatnot. Anyways, I think the turn ended up fine. May not have been the best, but I dealt with the BGH. I overdrew him. I filled up my hand, and I got a board presence. So can't complain too much. Pick up Alec here, which is also fantastic. He plays another Twilight Drake, which I have the Earthshock for, and the silence on that is pretty irrelevant at this point. And I'm just doing a bunch of math now. So let's see. We have a full 10 mana now. We didn't have it last turn. So let's see. If I place the Flame Tongue Totem, I can deal 4 with the Cold Light Oracle. That brings him to 16. I can use my Power Mace to drop him down to 13. Alright, I can play Old Murk-Eye on the right of the Flame Tongue Totem, and I also have enough mana to play the Murloc Raider, bringing my Old Murk-Eye to 7, hit him for 7, reincarnate, hit him from 7 again, and that should be lethal. And I realized I kind of like caught myself mid, I don't think it would have mattered how I did it either way, but when you reincarnate something, it always spawns to the right, so I actually need to suicide my what the heck's it called? Spell Power Totem. Because if I attack his face with my Spell Power Totem, I won't be able to shift my second Murk-Eye back over to get the buff. I don't even know if it would have mattered. Probably would have. But yeah, so I don't know if it was the best played game versus Handlock, but we got to kill this guy with a reincarnate on an Old Murk-Eye Flame Tongue Totem. That, like, how often do you see that? Well, you saw it here, so that's why I was here in this series. Thanks for watching, everyone. Check out my deck tech guide if you haven't already. Check out the written portion, and I'll see you guys for whatever next video series I end up making is. Thanks for watching.